Well, hello there. Old Man Jenkins here to introduce you to the Roy and Carolina Show. This month, brought to you by the fancy portable heater for your desktop. Thanks, Old Man Jenkins. Yes, welcome to the Roy and Carolina Show. As you might have heard before, we're sponsored this week by the fancy portable heater. So if you hear something in the background, well, we're just keeping warm. Joining me as always today is the lovely Carolina Amy.
Hi.
How are you doing today, miss?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, it's the last show of the year. All great things must come to an end, just like this year. To end this year, I would like to share a very personal narrative of mine that kind of showed me the truth to how I felt about America and really brought out a societal problem that I think we need to fix and amend as a whole. Well, it all started back when I was a senior, about to graduate high school. I was taking my first government and econ class, and my professor, Mr. Hendricks, really had an interesting take on things. Everything that I had learned up till that point was just a total lie. We were learning about the Native Americans and when Christopher Columbus came, and how he just completely slaughtered these people, these poor people, 13 at a time to represent Jesus and his 12 apostles. We learned about all the different things that the government of the United States does that was, let's be honest, really shitty at times. Another big point about it was that it was right before the election of 2016, which, as we all know, was the year that Donald Trump got elected. And I think we all know how that turned out. So it really got me thinking that there's a lot of really shady stuff that the government gets into. And there's not very many competent people in the government that are really focusing on bringing the views and the needs of everyday American into the light. So, do you have any personal narratives of your own that you had growing up that was really your, how do you say, spark that showed you that there was a big problem that happens in today's society?
Yes.
What was it?
Capitalism.
Interesting. Capitalism. Would you care to elaborate on that point at all?
How would you like me to elaborate?
Well, what was the point in time growing up that you thought, capitalism's a really big thing for us, and it's not exactly the greatest for American society?
Not necessarily growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I experienced it more recently as becoming an adult. You kind of, it's like a little slap in your little face.
Yeah.
Slap.
She actually slapped me in the face.
I think it's an issue because we're slaves to work for companies.
Yeah, I get you.
That it they don't care. Like, we almost don't care about one another. It's all just corporate and money, and it's just an awful situation to be in. And sometimes, you think, well, communism, that would be great, but at the same time, there's so many awful people in the world, and there's so much greediness that in the end, I don't think anything could really work out. Whether it would be for the better or not, I feel like there's always someone that's just gonna beep it up.
Oof. Sorry about that language, viewers. We'll fix that in post.
Sorry.
So, anyways, that's really interesting. And to wrap up today's episode, I would like to have a letter to America, which I'm going to propose a specific legislation that I think would effectively help the United States as a whole. So, basically, what I'm proposing is that the government should have mandatory competency tests for not just the president, but all government positions as well.
Mhm.
So basically, how it would happen is every single year, they would have to be up for a review, such as teachers who have to get documented and have to have a spot analysis for them.
Mhm.
And they would just have to take this test every single year that would go over the necessary information that each one of them would have to do in their necessary office. So these tests could range anywhere from, let's say, simple economics
Mhm.
all the way to necessary public relations and journalism that would be a necessary part of everyday government life.
Yeah.
And honestly, should those government positions and the people who hold them not pass those tests, then they should be ejected from office due to the fact that
Mhm.
if they can't even pass a simple test that goes over the simplest parts of their job, then they shouldn't have them, honestly.
So, if these people were to get ejected from their position, who would take their place?
I'm glad you asked. So, if that were to happen, every single election has the person who's nominated, and then it has the person who wasn't.
Mhm.
I think that the most effective thing would be that if both of them were to be there, the person that wasn't elected
Uh-huh.
should have the chance to take that same test. And if they were to pass it, I think that they should effectively be the ones in office. Of course, you could also use the necessary vice president or even the Speaker of the House afterwards, just as is the normal chain of command and power in politics and
Okay.
everything.
Okay. That sounds really great. I really like that idea a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe somewhere down the line we can actually make it work. Hopefully,
Possibly.
America can actually become a great nation.
America will eventually, maybe, probably, perhaps become great again. Has it ever?
Oh man, I can't believe you just said that. Well, that's all the time that we've got for this week. I hope you've all enjoyed the past year that we've had. And who knows, maybe down the line we'll make more episodes.
I
But
hope so.
until then, I hope you guys have a nice night and a nice new year. Enjoy.
Happy holidays.
And yes, happy holidays as well.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.